This is our forum series that we call Doing Business as a Black-Owned Business. So we want to invite our host, the great Bishop of Calvary First Baptist Church, Bishop Gibson, to come forward and bring us our welcome.
I want to say welcome to the Black Chamber of Commerce, Brown, and to all of your staff members, to all the members of the Black Chamber of Commerce, those who are here in the building, and those who are watching live by Facebook. I want you to know that I am honored and delighted to have you all come and present this forum today, doing business as a black business person. I teach the people here at our church that if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. And business opportunities will teach you how to eat for a lifetime and leave a legacy and an inheritance for your family, your children, your great-grandchildren. And so this is vitally important in the black community. And then secondly, I want to say to you, I commend you for coming. We're glad to have you here. Because there are so many times people need to realize what types of availabilities are out there for them to start up a business. And we as a people must mature to the point where we can become more than just consumers. We need to be producers. And I want to thank you for being here, because I know this is about being a producer, being a productive producer, owning your own business and getting things going and getting people hired, so you don't have to always be an employee. You can be an employer. And I want to say again to the Black Chamber, you're always welcome, not just this day, but anytime you need the Calvary First Baptist Church facility to host any of your meetings, you're more than welcome. And again, I want to say thank you, President Graham, for the invitation to bring us here, and thank all of you who showed up and those who are witnessing. I'm here so I can listen and learn, because you never know what I may want to do too. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to this time introduce our guests. We have Latoya Rodriguez.
Latoya. You said it right the first time.
Latoya Rodriguez, who is the owner of Rose Soiree. She's our only black florist in Louisiana. That is amazing. We have Curtis Clark, who is Vice President of IBC Bank. And we have Katina Smith, her and her husband, Joe, are the owners of PKK Southern Cuisine. So we want black business owners and black business professionals to talk to us, right? Yeah. So we started this Tina and Latoya.
Okay. You just don't throw it on. Again, I'm Latoya Rodriguez. I own Rose Soiree Floral Bar. I am a fresh flower florist, the only black in the Oasis County. So from my perspective, as a business owner in general, and during an election year, I think people are kind of holding on to their money. It is really difficult as a business owner to market, because marketing is, one of your highest costs, as well as labor and like your back end expenses, like your rent, your website. A lot of people don't think behind the scenes, they just want to say, oh, can I just have a flower? Okay, well, great, yeah, sure, I'll sell you a flower, but my expense is honestly gonna be a little bit higher than if you would just go to HB or somewhere else, because I don't have the legs to stand on like a big brick and mortar store does. So honestly, in the last year, I let go of my brick and mortar location because just those hard bills were a little too expensive. And it's hard to make ends meet from the standpoint of a small business owner, a wife, and a mother. I have to wear all the hats, sometimes, from not just being a business owner, but being a Black woman in general. So when you are getting into a business, you really want to think about all the things that requires as far as licensing, taxes, fees. There's a lot of things that people don't think about when you're first starting a business. So going forward, this year, especially being an election year and any year, you want to plan your whole entire year out. That's one thing I wish I learned from the beginning, was to plan ahead, not just next week, not just next month, but the whole entire year. So that way when things happen, you don't have as many surprises. So that's just my take. Tina?
In the industry that my husband and I are in, the restaurant industry, what we have learned, we've been doing this brick and mortar for 2 weeks. We have been in the restaurant industry, catering wise and all, for longer than that. We did that for about 10 years prior to what we're doing now. So I have the catering aspect, and now I have the actually being in the building, having employees, and all of that. So I'm coming from both ends when I start to talk about what business looks like. So as a business owner, from this perspective, it's daunting when you're having to be responsible for other people that rely on you and your business for them to pay their bills. You know, like I did before we started becoming a business owner. Whatever job I had, I relied on them for us to be able to pay our bills. So being in this position, it's really hard. It's difficult. When we started this one, it was a business that was already there. We took ownership and made something our own. And making something your own, this was something that we had a vision for years. So having the vision was us planning out what that's going to look like. So it was, what is our business name going to look like? Why do we want that business name? What do we want our business to represent? Who do we want our business to represent? How will other people benefit from what we are doing? There are a lot of people that services that are in the food industry. How are we going to be different than what someone else offers? How will we make ourselves stand out? What is it that we want people to walk away from? How are we going to be impactful in the community that we are in, not just providing a service, but how long was the longevity of that service? Because there are so many different things that are coming in now that technology-wise that frankly are taking out people, you know? So it's the business that I'm in and what really is the longevity of that. And how can I maximize on the opportunity that I have? How can I maximize on that, you know? So it was all of those things that we were thinking about, and those things don't come in one stance. It starts with things like this. We went to we were part of the Success, we subscribed to the Success magazine, and in that Success magazine, it really does talk about how to build your businesses. There's Black business excellence. We got on top of that, of learning from other people that have actually gone before us. We took every course there was that was presented to us when we were in California. I went to business school. In those schools, learning what I learned in school, I'm telling you, is different than actually doing it, you know? But what helped was I was able to pull from some of those things, but it is so different than actually than being in the work of it, you know? So I would say that any education, the education that we get here, that we, the things that we give, I think because we've gone through different things, those trials and tribulations is to give back, you know, so other people may not have to go through those things. So I'm just saying today, anything that I say, I'm very, very transparent about things that I've gone through, to want to share that with others because I don't want other people to have to go through some of the unnecessary hardships that my husband and I have gone through. So I'm very sensitive to that. And I don't want to say anything that would discourage anybody. We pray that everything that we say will be encouraging to everybody.
Madam President, can I chime in on the literacy side? Because I'm Curtis, by the way, Vice President of Legacy Bank, and I'm glad that employee attendant has really give you a snapshot of what their business is, what they have gone through to get where they're at today. But a lot of I'll back all that back up.
He's a banker, so
I
that's
have
why I'm
another-
down here. I'm gonna chime in because I'm a business owner. I've been in business since 2006. I was an assistant district attorney with the Nueces County DA's office before I started my own law practice. And I think for me, as a Black owner, business owner, and it depends on your type of business. Because I'm in the legal profession, the first thing I did was what they call get on appointment list, so that I'm contracting with government entities so that I can always have a steady flow of cases and as a result, create a steady flow of income. So that was one of the first things I did. So depending on your industry that you are in, one of the things you have to consider is your business amenable to doing business with the city, with the county, with some other, with a, corporation, some other entity other than, or in addition to, building clientele. And so for me, being in the legal profession, I was able immediately to get on appointment lists. So I'm contracting with counties who will pay me for my work in representing, different individuals. And so I've done that in like 6 counties so that I'll have 6 streams of income. That's the other thing you need to be aware of as a business owner, creating multiple streams of income. And that's something I found is vital, because if one is low, you have another one that can be high, so that so you're not put in a situation where you have nothing coming in. Because a lot of times I tell people, it's just me. If I don't work, bills don't get paid, and I'm out, I'm homeless, okay? That is the reality of the situation. So those are all the things, I think particularly as a Black person, because we're in a situation where we're in a county that's 57% Hispanic, maybe 30-40% Anglo, and less than 5% African American. So you gotta consider who you're gonna be marketing to, who is gonna be your customer base, how can you contribute, how can you create multiple streams of income as a Black person in this type of climate. So with that, I want to say, did anyone else have any final comments on this subject? Any questions? Gotcha.
Yes, I have a question. I know for different businesses, there are different requirements, but I have people here in my church who are considering starting up a business. And my question to the panel is, can you tell me, maybe like in step 1 to 5, if a person wanted to start up a business, what would be step 1, step 2, step 3, because I want to write it down so I can relate it, and I want to put it in perspective. So if you could tell me what would be the first step, whatever it would be, then the second step, at least give me 4 or 5 steps that I can relate to some people here in my church who are interested in starting up a business, so I can tell them properly and correctly.
Well, we're gonna get to that because we have a checklist that we're gonna go through. But before then, anyone other questions?
Yeah, I had a question for Rose Soiree. Since you got rid of your brick and mortar, do you have a virtual online shop?
I do, so I'm primarily mobile, I do a lot of weddings and events, and I just do everything out of a small studio, and then I deliver to my clients. So instead of people coming to me, I'm going to you.
So at this time, we're gonna let Curtis give his presentation on the financial literacy part.
Okay, going back to what I was saying, but back to your question, that's a very good question. And a lot of times in the banking industries, and I've been to many national conventions where a lot of the black bankers talk about this, and they have the stereotype of, well, the banks won't lend money, the banks won't do this, and the banks do lend money. So going to your question, what's the most important thing is when you start a business is to check all 3 credit companies to see what is on your credit. Because I've seen a lot of, people come in that may have their LLC from the Secretary of State or their DBA or what have you, but their credit's not good. Or their credit's good, but they have the wrong documents. Or you're gonna be a sole proprietor, or you're gonna be an LLC partnership, or you're gonna be a corporation. These are the type of things that you will need to know in order going into that. So when you do check your credit score, make sure you know what's on it, negotiate with the creditors so that you can, get whatever money and pay them off to get your credit score up, and then come to the bank and, open the account. And if you're looking to get some type of loan or funding to jumpstart your business, you'll have that leverage. Otherwise, the bank's gonna look for some type of collateral, because at the end of the day, the money's being put up and we need return on our investment. So that's one of the things. Check what's on your credit report, clean it up if you possibly can, know which type of LLC or sole proprietor that you're getting into.
So I'm going to say that what he's saying is absolutely correct. We do need to have a checklist. They do ask you a lot of different questions, but remember I said I was very transparent. So resources for men and women of color are limited, okay? So our checklist can be very, we can have a great checklist and have all of these things, and sometimes someone is still going to require a little bit more because it's you. And I think it's important to know that going in, because if you don't know that going in, we have a tendency of giving up, and we become discouraged, and it is discouraging, but it doesn't mean that we won't win. That means that you have to go a different avenue. It means that that person said no, but somebody will say yes. And so I think one of the hard parts for us was we went through the SBA, and one of the things that they told us, we actually had a mentor. So they will give you a business mentor to help answer one of your questions. It's here in the community, they do have, I believe they do have this in different states as well. I grew up in Atlanta, so I do know that they have it there too. So, but you can get a business mentor. That business mentor will then tell you what steps to take, how to get your business registered in the state, to make sure that your business name is not already taken from someone else, that it is clear why you should become an LLC. Opposed to a sole proprietor. And I'm going to tell you now, becoming a sole proprietor means that everything that you earn business-wise, everything is attached. Your home, your other things that you may have is also attached to your business. So if someone tries to come and sue you or so, everything is connected to that. So you want to separate it so you can keep your home things, your home base secure. So if you become an LLC, that allows you, or corporated as well. So that will keep your home safe and sound, because we don't want somebody to come after that, you know? So try to make sure that you separate it. That mentor helps you go through all of those things and tell you exactly how much it costs for you to do it. It costs like $300 for you to go ahead and get your business set up and to get registered or so. If you want to incorporate it, it's going to cost you like $2,500 to do so, or more, you know, depending on where your state level and what you're trying to do. So, but those are the finances part of it. But the mentor, having a mentor really is helpful in getting some of these different things done. And they do give you a checklist. And what Curtis is saying, it leads back to banking, knowing what your credit score looks like. You know, a lot of times I think as Black men and women, we get afraid of that. I was afraid of it, you know, of knowing I had limited credit. I didn't have a lot of things. So I had to build my credit. I had to go out and actually get different things so I could build my credit, you know. And now I have great credit. And now it's just keeping that established, not allowing somebody else to deteriorate you. It's self-discipline, really. You know, a lot of different things that we may want. I wanted my business to have all those different things, but we had to keep it with paper plates and forks for a little while, you know, until we could go to the plates and stuff. But we tried to make the paper plates and the forks look presentable, you know, for people. As Black businessmen and women, I'm telling you, we rely on friends and family a lot because the resources are limited to us. So a lot of times we do that. You know, we have families that will loan us money. We have friends that will give us money to help set the stage for us and study getting going with our businesses and everything. And that was very helpful for us. There were people that believed in us. For the first year and a half, we didn't have any financial help. I'm going to say that I don't recommend that, but we didn't. We are a strong believer in faith, and we stand on the principles of Christ. So we really did rely on the help of God a lot, you know, through that. So we took the money that was actually coming into the register and we put it back into the business. So we didn't have anything coming in. So for a while, for the first 2 to 5 years, we're not going to see anything. And I don't want anybody to feel, you know, get discouraged over that either. You just don't, because you have to reinvest. You're reinvesting. You know, so having the multiple streams of income that Coretta was talking about helps supplement some of the different things during that low period of time when you're not seeing things come in.
And you know, you make up a very good point on the financial part of it and having multiple areas of money. One of the things I have seen is people taking out credit cards. It could be your best friend or your worst enemy. I mean, you have to know what that interest rate is, when that bill is due, make yourself a calendar, know when those bills come in, and make sure you pay them off. Another thing is when you get to a point where Latoya and Katina and Dr. Graham in your business, if you're looking for, you know, a loan or something, make sure you keep good tax record keeping. Because the loan department is going to look at, well, I need to see your last 3 or 4 years of taxes. And they're going to find, you know, red flags. If you're not keeping accurate information on those, they will most likely push back. Or they'll tell you, well, did we have concerns in these areas? So be very mindful of that when you're taking out loans and things of that sort. Anybody have any other questions?
Your LLC, when is it inactive, or does it ever stop once you get an LLC?
No, it's never inactive as long as you do your taxes.
Oh, okay, I just wondered, because I do have one and I didn't know if it was still active or otherwise.
You can go on to where you get get your EIN number, and now you can follow that, you know, and go in, and it always tell you, and they're supposed to send you something every year, you know, of letting you know the status, and all this also.
And that leads us to our checklist. Everyone should have this sheet. Because if you form an LLC, you really need to be going online to the Secretary of State, State Comptroller's Office to see if you need to, if you sell products in particular, if you have to pay sales tax or franchise tax. If you have employees, you have to make sure you have an account with the Texas Workforce, because you have to submit a report for possible employee. So you have to report on employee paying employees. So just to answer the bishop's question, 5 things if you start a business, and then we'll go back and see what other things we need to check it off. First thing is, if you just think about starting a business, decide on what type of business you want, what industry you want to go into. Based on your skills, sets, your talents, your gifts, God-given gifts and talents, where, you know, you have to decide on the industry that you want to create a business in. Is number one. And part of that is doing the research to see if that would be even successful. You know, a lot of people just create a business without actually finding out about the market. And then they get frustrated when they don't make no money, they don't make any money because they didn't do the research in advance to even see whether or not it was feasible to even get to that business. Because we can have passions, but turning passions into profits takes work.
Hmm.
And there's no getting around that. Number 2 is to go on to the irs.gov and create your federal employee ID number. That is free. And it's free. Fortunately, in Texas, we don't need a state ID number because we don't pay state taxes. But your federal employee ID number is what you use when you have to file taxes on your business. If you make more than, and you would probably consult a tax professional, I think it's more than 600, I think it's 600 perhaps. You gotta file taxes. People get a lot of trouble because they don't file taxes. Particularly if you have a business, you need to be filing the taxes.
Court.
Even if it's 0.
Even if
Yes.
even if you get a
You still have to
file your taxes, because when you get to the bank, you want a loan, they're gonna want to be able to, you have to show that you have income to repay the loan. If you're asking for capital, you're asking for someone to give you money, particularly a bank or some other lending institutions, they wanna know your finances, because they wanna know, can you pay back this loan? You just not, you have programs out there that are grants, and we try to wanna come, it's like, why do you exist? Number 4 is to establish a relationship with the bank professional. Because it's either a bank professional or someone who can mentor you with the financial aspects of running your business. Because that is key. A lot of times, Black folks don't get the capital that we need because we don't have the relationships that we need in the banking industry. We don't have those relationships in those areas where the money is, you know. And a lot of times it's who you know in addition to, you know, you can have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, but they don't know you. So they don't put, you know, so they're not going to give you grace, you know what I'm saying, that you may get if you had a relationship with the bank professional. You know, that loan officer in that bank. You, and part of that is creating your checking account, your banking account for your business. So,
And having said that, down your banker, I'm downtown.
so you create a business checking account, right? And you decide, you got plenty of banks and credit unions to choose from. You decide which one you feel most comfortable with, and you develop a relationship with that bank representative. Because when you need to talk to someone about trying to get that loan from that bank, capital, some type of business capital, your relationship matters. Because that person can give you a lot of grace, you know, and just really assist you and not treat you like, you know, some foreign, you know, like, you know, some, you know, try to rush you out because you have a relationship with that person. And it's really helpful. We don't have a lot of Black folks in the banking professionals. So it's really key that we determine the ones we do have and how we can build a relationship with them. So that's going to be like number 4 in terms of establishing your business checking account, establishing a relationship with a bank professional. Number 5 is obtaining a credit report. Because unfortunately, a lot of times when you may need to provide your credit history for whatever reason, it's just good to know what your credit is. Because you can have, particularly if you're a sole practitioner, if you're a sole proprietor, your credit score, your personal credit score is going to be tied to your business credit score. But if you're an LLC, you may have a separate credit report that you can generate for your business alone. So it's key to know now where you stand when it comes to your credit. Because the bottom line is it's going to be a factor when you're trying to build, when you're trying to obtain capital. And then I would say the last thing would be decide if you're going to have a storefront or a virtual shop. I have an office, but I was fortunate to find a place that has like, it's like all bills. You just pay rent one time and it includes, you know, don't have to pay, you have to pay your rent and your phone, but you don't have to pay a bunch of utilities.
Electric and water.
So, because all that can add up. And I know some people, they work from home, but so you can have a virtual shop. So you have to decide, depending on your type of business, do you want to open up a brick and mortar, or do you want to have a virtual store? Because that will factor into determining your business costs. So those are the, I guess, top 6 things I would say when starting a business. But I want to bring up Mr. Taylor because he spent years with RTA, right? But now he has done consulting business, and he is basically our expert in getting certification, which is another aspect of growth, particularly if you're Black owned. You can get hub certification, you can get disadvantaged business, DBE, which is disadvantaged business enterprise certification, and you can get, if you're a woman-owned certification. What it does is it basically allows your business to stand out because the government, when you're doing state government contracts, they have to give a certain amount of their money by law to disadvantaged businesses, to women-owned businesses. So that certification will let them know that
Meet all the qualifications.
that you're legit. And then with the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce, they have specifically Buy Black certification, which opens you up to a whole nother level that you can even do business with companies nationally because they see that buyback certification. Well, you've been verified. Okay, you've been verified as a company, and your finances are, or all that thing, the things you need to go to. But I'll let Lamont talk more about that. Introduce yourself.
My name is Lamont Taylor, and I used to say I'm from the government and I'm here to go. Okay, the reason why I say that is because the federal government and the state government have a program called the DBE program, Disadvantaged Business Program, which is promulgated by law that any DOT facility, that means TxDOT, that means RTA, that means the airport, all have to do business with women and minorities. They have a program out there to do business with women and minorities. And they, as you know, the government buys everything from soap to flowers. They buy everything. So in essence, if you have these businesses, you need to, I guess, govern yourself, put yourself in line so that you can be seen by the government. And one of those ways is to get certified via disadvantaged business or HUB certification. Bring it, I guess, close to home. You have 3 entities here in Corpus Christi, Regional Transportation Authority, the city's airport, and you have TxDOT. All 3 of those entities, you can be HUB certified or you can be DBE certified. HUB certification, any TxDOT program, from working over at the university where I was all week this week, over to anywhere, state school, any state-run facility, they have to have a program, a procurement program that is designed with women and minorities in mind. So what you need to do is get certified. They told you the best way to do that is from an LLC or sole proprietor. You have to have the 3 years of taxes. That's very important because they said if they don't know that you're really in business, if you have not shown your income taxes or your taxes for your business. So that's very important. When they were going over about you have to have these things set up, there's a program inside of Del Mar College right now, I don't know when that is stated. It's called, you have a small business program over at Del Mar that will help you get your paperwork together. So you go over to Del Mar College over at the Economic Development Center, and there's a small business program where they help you, assist you, they'll assign you a counselor. You can get your EIN number, you can get all the that you need in order to get prepared to go to the bank. So like you said, have a relationship with the banker. You have one here, but you have to have your paperwork in order, because that a particular business over there in Del Mar will help you get your paperwork together. And they have a checklist. The checklist that they have given you, those are the type things that they will help you with. You can go over there Monday to Thursday. I think every other Friday they're off. But over the small bit, that's nowhere right across from Ray High School. That particular building right there is where you can go and get assistance to help you get your paperwork together. And we will be available. I'm available also. They have my number here, and I'm also in the directory. You can go in and I can walk you through the process. Yes, it seems daunting at times. However, but as they say, just discipline. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You just go one step at a time and get certified, because you have all your paperwork. It's basically them helping you get it together. The things that you don't know, they will help you walk you through it, from getting registered with IRS to state of Texas, getting the things that you need to get certified. And they have a website. Go to the website. RTA has a website. It's at www.ccrta.org. And at that website, there's a DBE program. And at the DBE program, there's a checklist that what you need to get all of the documentation that you need, and you can take that documentation over to Del Mar, and they will help you get prepared to get certified. 3 years. I know that everyone in this room here qualified, because not unless you're making $16.7 million a year, you qualify. All of you guys qualify for this particular program. So I know basically just getting your paperwork together and walking through. And it's, like I said, it may appear to be daunting at times. However, you can do this, because if I can do it, you can do it. And basically, as Katrina would say, discipline. You're going to have discipline, because if it is me, it's your business. It's up to you, to be successful. If you want to be successful, you want a successful business instead of a business, you want to run a business, all right? And basically, a business is someone who don't have paperwork. Business, you have your paperwork. You have a paper trail so that you can go to business on some of your other papers and be able to take your paperwork in and talk about the business plan. These individuals who talk about the business plan over at SBDC, they will help you with your business plan, because you know your business, you know what you want to do, and you just talk it out. They have another program over there called SCORE, which provides mentors for its retired individuals such as myself who run business or help formulate businesses. And basically, you sit down and they'll help you write your business plan. So all of those things, you just take time. You know what you want to do, but you need to put it on paper and then help someone walk you through your particular plan, because that's the only way you're going to be successful, is that you put it down and then walk through the program and get them who over at Del Mar to help you walk through the program. And that's what they're getting paid for. They're sitting over there waiting on you to come in. So why not you going over there? Other people are taking advantage of it. Why don't you? We have not because we ask not. So you need to go and ask for what it is that you're looking for. Yes, ma'am.
On the information that you sent out to us, Ms. Grant,
Yes.
about getting certified to have products that you can sell, or at least try to get HEB to consider having your product in their store. it's mentioned something about getting a small business certification. Are we talking about the same type of certification? Is that talking about the same certification that you're talking about?
There's some on the public sector, meaning the public sector, and then the private sector. The private sector. I have a good friend who just retired from the city of Houston, and he was my counterpart at RTA. Now he's working with the private sector. So in essence, they have programs out there in the private sector that from the Federation stores or whatever, PPG, or whatever these chemical companies are, all of those are called private companies, but they have what they call diversity programs in those, at that particular time. I don't know what they're called.
Let me just piggyback. It's, a lot of these corporations like HEB, and see, that's why, with the chamber, we try to let our members know about a lot of these supplier diversity programs, where they specifically want, minority-owned businesses to do this. They want to basically help them, get them on their supply list, to be able to do business with them. And like a lot of these corporations, have what they call supplier diversity programs, where they're curating a list of minority-owned businesses, disadvantaged businesses, for them to do business with. And a lot of times, we miss out on it because we don't know when these meetings happen to be able to get our foot in the door. That's why as a chamber, we got the information about HEB. Right now, you have a product, they're looking for products to put in their stores. They're looking for businesses to put on their diversity list to do business with them. It helps if you have certification because then they know you've been through,
A program.
whether it's DBE certification, hub certification, small business disadvantage certification. A lot of them want the same paperwork. So you get one, it'll be good for another one. But it just allows them, it just basically lets them know that you have gone through the process to say you're a legit company to do business with. And that you've been certified as a disadvantaged business. Because they're looking for, you have to be like 51% ownership, if you're black-owned businesses, it has to be 51% black-owned. 51% or more.
Ownership and control.
Yeah,
You
51% ownership and control.
You need to be able to control the business also. Yes, you can say you own it, but you don't control it. Someone else is controlling the business. So they're looking for ownership and control.
So HEB now has started their information meetings, and I would say jump on the information meeting and ask that question. To ask them specifically what y'all need. We also have an ongoing relationship with ExxonMobil because they have billions of dollars that they want us to give away, specifically the black-owned businesses. They're looking for black-owned businesses to do business with. And you may not think that, but I could do the big oil and gas company. You'd be surprised. But getting on these lists is key because it lets you get in front of people who can figure out how to use your business. Even if you may not be thinking about it. They may say, oh, we may need flowers, we may need cakes, we may need, cleaning, we may need a caterer, we may need, it's an opportunity.
Every morning at the Port Commission meeting, they have a breakfast. Every morning at the RTA meeting, they have catering and breakfast, some type of eatery for those individuals. The city of Corpus Christi, they cater in lunch when they break for lunch. They break for lunch, somebody supply them with some lunch back there. So basically getting on those lists so that you can get back there and provide those individuals with meals or whatever they need. Like I said, this past week I was out in Corpus Christi, and they have a big lawn care project that is coming out. All the grass out there, they need maintenance, they're doing maintenance. Also, those those, individuals who, can make ready the dorms, so when the kids leave for the summer, they need to go and fix all those dorms up, so painting and re-putting in other appliances and things of that nature, that's what they do, so in essence, that's, under the HUB program with the state of Texas, so.
Even if you do, let me just, and then I'll get your question, even if you do hairstyling, the military contracts with people, with, barbers to cut soldiers' hair, okay? So don't limit yourself. If you, put all this in your business plan, I wanna do business with corporations. I wanna do business with the city. I wanna do business with the university, okay? And here at the chamber, we can try and help you, provide as much assistance as we can to help you make it happen. Yeah, question?
I want to ask a question. PKK. Okay, I hear all of this stuff is all great. What about insurance? Because I work for the health department. Environmental comes in, they want to check a food truck, they want to check your restaurants, you gotta have boom, 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 boom. So I was trying to get some black organizations to come in during Black History Month. So they had it set up, you have to have at least a $300,000, I guess like if someone gets sick or something. You have to have all this. Where do you find all of that information at? How does that work, like with your restaurant?
Okay.
They can come in at any time. You got a food truck, they can come in at any time. I actually see the reports and a lot of, they can shut you down just like that.
So do you mean from the permit side or just like health insurance?
Business insurance, are you talking about?
Both. I think she's talking about both.
Business insurance?
Or by getting the bond or the insurance for.
No, not so much business insurance, you've gotta have a special insurance, like you're doing cake, you're doing food.
Right.
You gotta have another insurance
Right.
for that, and sometimes it looks like they got it up, so tell me about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're talking about like the business insurance, I'm part of it. There are some like standard, business insurance that you can have that really is, minimum, depending on how many employees you have. So if you, that's how they start a baseline for it. So if you have like, 1 to 5 employees, the amount of how much insurance that you have to have, it may be one amount. If you go over, say you have 12 to 20, then that turns it into where you're gonna have your insurance level goes through the roof. And they do start looking for a whole lot of other things, with that. What do you, safety practices, things like that. Is that what you're asking about? What do they have in place, like safety practices? Requirements that you must have that sometimes seems like it's not attainable for you to be able to do, to even have your business, So for us, we have 12 employees, right? So with those 12 employees, I don't have to have the max of insurance when it comes, but we do have to make sure that we have insurance there to cover if someone gets hurt, if a customer comes in and gets hurt, things like that. So they don't necessarily give us a list because of the amount of employees that we have, and say that you have to follow all of these rules and regulations for that. However, the city does. The city does want you to have a certain amount of things done before they check off on you. And I think that that's really important to know what it is that they're looking for, because before you even get to that part, if the city says no, then you're not even going to get to that part of having your business insurance. But there are some companies for business insurance that we pay, honestly, I pay every month it just comes out, I pay less than $100 for my business insurance, and I have to have some requirements city is a whole nother story as far as what their requirements are, and that is a lengthy checklist.
It's a 49, they are inspecting 49 incidents. That's what they're doing. I mean, on their checklist. I just got mine. It's rough. But the inspection, she's right. You got a city inspection. And if the city and the county, I think they work together. If the city and the county find any violations, they'll give you an opportunity to correct it. Okay, and then they're gonna come back and then they're gonna go through the same thing that they, that they went from the beginning. And then if you don't pass that, then I think they shut you down.
So I have a question for you. You say yours is 49, so.
47. I think.
47.
I'm sorry,
So
yeah.
does it depend on the business as to which they send you, or does everybody get that same
Now,
list?
let me say this. This is food.
But that's why I'm saying we need to clarify. There's different types of
Yes,
businesses, and I
you're
need
right.
to know.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
So
I'm
her list
sorry.
may be 27, but mine may be 10. So we need to clarify that.
And it depends
How
on
that
the
works.
classification of the business. For instance,
Right.
in construction, there's something. In food industry, there's
Yes.
something. So in essence, there are various insurances from property casualty all the way to health insurance. So it runs the gamut. So in essence, it depends on what business that you're coming in under, then that particular to the fruit. Like I said, I'm not making this hard for you. Go over to the SBDC, all right? And then you know what industry that you're going to go into. They will have bonding programs for you, surety bonds if you're in the construction business. If you need legal stuff, whatever they have, the categories that you have, so you're not walking in here blind.
So I'm still going to the basics, because I know we have people in here that are at the basics. So that list, where does it come from, right? And how do we see that list based on our industry? Do we have to get to a certain point in business development for us to see that list? Or can we go somewhere, if I'm in cosmetology and I'm an esthetician, can I go somewhere for that list? If with the city, is there somewhere on the city's website that I can go and see that list? Do they send it to me once I'm registered? Like, how does one know what that list is
You're
in
gonna
order
have
to
to be the
even know
one.
what to do?
You're gonna have to be the
It's
one.
really hard to find.
Yes.
Okay, that's what.
You're the one,
So,
yes.
just like Lamont said, he's talking about the small business stuff, development center at Del Mar. So you wanna go to delmar.edu/SBDC, Small Business Development Center. They have all of these resources.
Right.
So you wanna connect with an advisor, and once you meet with your advisor, they have access to all these government entities, and they have most of those lists already. So depending on what, field that you're in, they are going to be able to easily access those necessities for you and those lists that would take you months to find yourself on a
yes.
city or a.
Thank you, that's what I needed to know.
And what it is you have what they call a cage code. A cage code is basically a classification code to tell me what business you're in. And in that classification code, it tells you what business you're in, so it tells you what insurance you're gonna need for this. It's gonna tell you everything you need to want to know about that particular business, what freight to ask, but it's gonna be right there. And it's already designed, so in essence, if you're going into food services, if you're going to, that cage code is right there for you.
And I want to say that when we were, before we moved into our brick and mortar, where we were before, I didn't have to have certain insurance there because we were connected to a building. That building had its own insurance.
Now
So
we're getting to
we
the
were part of that, we were covered under that umbrella. So you need to have some insurance that would just cover for when someone walks through your front door. From that aspect, from they walk in and when they walk out. Now, because I'm in a brick and mortar, my insurances are totally different.
Yeah.
So I have to, it's extent than where it was before. I'm not under in somebody else's umbrella.
Right.
So we had to create our own. And so with that, some things from property line. But if you're renting your property, the owner of that property can take some of that responsibility off of you, where you're not having to do those things. Because the owner of the property has a responsibility to you as a person who is, being in that place. So your responsibility to your business as the property that ownership goes to the owner of the property.
Can I say something? Okay, are you talking about, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
Tina,
Katina. I'm Kim. But, I have a food truck.
yes, ma'am.
And what I have got partnered up with the meat, the man that sell me my meat. He wants me on his property. But then in my truck, okay, I have to have the insurance for my coach. You understand what I'm saying? So are we to kind of write something out there? Because hypothetically, if, just say there was some damage to his property, okay, that I'm supposedly to park the coach on, okay, then will my insurance, at that point, will my insurance kick in for what was done? Or do we just, how do they say it? Take care, you take care of this and I'll take, I mean.
Well, so I don't wanna give you some ill advice, when it comes to.
Sure.
Like, as far as what insurance you should have or shouldn't have. I will tell you what I would personally do for myself. I had a food truck and I was on someone else's property. Because I am that kind of person that want to cover all bases.
Exactly.
Regardless of what someone tells me, I would do for myself.
Exactly.
If there is, if there's gonna be a trickle ball hazard of thing,
Right.
I would want to have it for me.
Sure.
To cover myself.
Sure.
Because being on someone else's property, even if they have something, which they
It may
should,
not come from
if
you.
they're inviting you into that space, they should have something there to help protect who they are inviting.
Right.
But that's not always the case.
Right.
And so to protect yourself, your business, your customers, I would just do it.
Yeah.
Have whatever it takes to make sure that my surrounding area and the people that I'm inviting to come see me.
Right.
Is
It's safe, yeah, and it's secure, okay.
Almost every industry has its own form of what we call liability insurance. Even as a lawyer, I have my own business insurance just to cover my office.
Right.
Cause God, I don't care what the owner's doing, I need to cover my business.
I know, that's right.
In case something happens in my business, I got insurance, and even because I'm in a service industry, we have professional liability insurance, which is totally separate
Yes.
from just regular business liability insurance. Business liability insurance will cover your office, things, liability that may happen, somebody trips and falls while they're visiting you in your office, something like God forbid, you know what I mean? But then, because I'm in a service profession, where I'm giving people legal advice, I have professional liability insurance in case somebody says, well, she gave me advice and this bad thing happened to me. Yeah. So, every industry
Yes.
has some form of liability insurance, and I think we are recommending that if you don't know what insurance you need for your industry, the best place to start is with the Small Business Development Center, because they have gathered all that information for you, and you can just request it, and it should be free.
It is.
Yes,
Free.
And you can know, like, the checklist that I gave you here, everybody take out your checklist. It is very comprehensive. I only answered the fastest question, the top 5 things when you start a business, but this checklist is extremely comprehensive about everything you're gonna need to consider when starting a business. And those of you that need a checklist, make sure you get one, because we have under getting started, designating a launch date, selecting a location, obtaining a lease, obtain business card, furnishing equipment, supplies, obtaining licenses and permits. Obtaining licenses Black folks need to obtain licenses and permits. Don't be out here selling.
Doesn't mean.
Don't be out here selling.
Yeah,
Don't be out here selling. And you ain't got no permits. Okay?
yeah,
And I'm just gonna say that they are truly cracking down on that. We
Yes.
built a relationship with some of the health department here and, some of the inspectors. So I'm just telling you firsthand, they really are cracking down on a lot of things. We have a lot of pop-up places where people are selling things and people are not, they don't have any permits for it, you know? And I'm gonna say, I understand, I get why that's happening. But if we want to be successful, if we want to have, sustainability in what we are doing, we have to do the things that are required,
right.
you know? And they may not be, and always an easy thing, which is why we are all here. I'm telling you, I said I'm gonna be transparent. When we went to our brick and mortar, you know, there were a lot of permits that we had to have. The one that we were in, that building had already been inspected 6 months prior to us getting in there. Technically, it shouldn't have needed another inspection, right? Because they just inspected it. So the requirements that that was needed for us to be in there should have already been taken care of because it was just done. They gave it, okay. When we go in, they find the requirements. So we had to hire someone to come in and start putting in new things. It was not fair, but it was something we had to do, right? So we had to build, because of building relationships with people in the community, they came out and helped us and didn't charge us. You know, because we had the relationships. You know, we had to have certain things. So that's why I'm telling you that certain things that are required for one person may not be for the other. Because it was a 6 months difference and it should have been just fine, you know? But we did, we went through those, we got everything done, and they came back to back, health permit, health code. They came back to back just to see how we were doing, you know, how everything looked. And I don't mind because I want to make sure that we give our community the best process. We're not going to cut corners. You know, I don't want anybody to be sick. I want you to be healthy.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, come in, open, you know, and then I'll ask questions. I'll ask to have appointments with the health inspectors. Sit down and show me, tell me, what is it that you're looking for? You know, so we're not thrown off guard. You know, those are things that you don't know what
Until
their
you know.
10-page list is. You know, so you're thinking everything is okay, and they're like, well, it's not okay. So, but if you make an appointment, they will sit down and talk to you about it. But I didn't know that. No one told me that you can make an appointment with the health inspector and sit down with them and let them go over your checklist of what they're looking for. You know, so I'm telling you now, they will do that, you know, and you have your checklist and you could go back and make sure that you have your things in order because they are coming.
And the reason why we started this, you know, was because we know that a lot of people got questions and we want people to know that they can reach out to us and we can try and provide answers to them or help them find someone who can give them the right answers. Because we understand that as Black folks in Nueces County, we have a different type of privilege. And they say,
Is it no privilege?
We are not treated the same, and we have to jump through hoops unnecessarily so that other people may not have to. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
We need to support each
And
other.
we gotta learn how to support each other because there ain't enough of us to be isolated. The goal is for us to not just survive, but to thrive and have a sustainable business in this community that we live into.
Yeah.
So we have to help each other. We have to be our own advocates for ourselves and each other because we understand it's not the same. And they gonna make it hard for us, but they not gonna win.
That's it.
Cause we got each other and we got the Lord.
And so while we're in the same vein, I want to say that the chamber actually has office hours set up at the CED, where the Small Business Development Center is, quarterly. And I know we set the date for the other one, but I don't remember at the moment. And so we do have opportunities where we're actually available as a chamber as well while we're there, and we have the representatives from the different organizations that can help you.
Yeah, to that, I've gone before and literally there's nobody else there. I had 4 people from the Small Business Development Center, from an advisor to Hub, to somebody in funding, to what can we do to help you? Because nobody else showed up to this meeting. So the people are there, the people want to help us. It's just us get your list together, check off what you've done and what you still need to do, they will help you.
And I went through what they're talking about through the SBA. I think I mentioned that earlier. My husband and I did go in there, and the class was online. And they did it it was Zoom. I was the only student up there that whole time. It was just me. So they do offer the classes. My desire is to have us flood that place, so more people that look like us are receiving the resources and
Exactly.
benefits that are there. But we have to go to them. They do make it available, but we have to go, to where they're like, oh my gosh, where are all these people coming from, But we want to have access to those things. It really did help me. The mentor that Joe and I had was not even here in Corpus. They partner with different people in different places. Our mentor was he resides in Florida, but he helped us a lot. He sent us all kinds of stuff. He sent me my business plan. So if you need help with that, he sent us we wanted to do it's for our employees, an employee handbook. The employee
SOP.
handbook, they helped us with the employee handbook. There is a general employee handbook out there. They have quicker access to that stuff opposed to me trying to go and find it and put all that stuff together. So they will put in your business name into that general one, and then you can take that one and put together what you want, from it. But they have that. So I didn't have to do it. Don't need to reinvent the wheel.
The deal, and as she said, no use reinventing. The information is out there, it's available, and it's free. When I was at RTA, I called FBC my back office. All right, it was just me and 2 other individuals in the office, but I knew I had some workers over there that could answer any of the questions that my clients would have. And so I would refer them to them. They would have estimating classes if you need to do estimating in the construction industry. How to write the proposal, all of those things, because they got a bedroom right there. So if you are in the construction industry, they have a bedroom right there. So in essence, you go there and Miss Susie Hargrave, she'll go and help you out, do what you need to do in that plan room. So every building that's going to be built in this city has to come to that plan room. It comes to the plan room. So in essence, those doing construction, architects have to put their drawing right in the plan room. So in essence, if you're doing whatever in construction industry, it's right there. So in essence, they'll help you estimate so you can submit your proposal. But it's already there for you. All you have to do is utilize it.
So let me just take a survey. Let's go around the room, introduce yourself and what's your business? Or what you're interested in doing business in. You wanna start with me?
Do you need to stand?
Yeah, you can stand.
Hi, my name is Carrie Golden. I have a home-based baking business called Carrie Nell's Old Fashioned Desserts.
Yum, yum.
With me, I have my daughter Ashley, my husband Richard. We're just a family business.
Amen.
And delicious. And delicious.
Thank you.
Is it me?
Mhm.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Palmer. I have a barbecue place, I have a food truck called Kimmy's Smokehouse. And I do barbecue, all kind of meat, from turkey legs to frying pork chops, fried ribs, sausages, brisket. But I'm trying to get out and get started, and but we're going to be selling a multitude of stuff in my truck, not just barbecue, but we will be posting. Well, we do it now, but I'm still needing, the support and help, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you for being here.
Hi, my name is Maya. I have a dream of one day owning my own makeup company because I really enjoy doing makeup. It's something I love. I haven't named for it yet, but I kind of don't want to say it until I get it traced.
Yeah, good, hey, because if you, don't say it. No, don't tell us now. Let me just say, those of you who come up with the product, make sure you get trademark. You're gonna need with copyright and trademark. If you're doing
Depending on what
original
it is.
material, creating an original product. Yes, that is very key. Thank you for bringing that up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sai Stokes. I don't have a business yet, but I do want to create a business where I'm teaching financial literacy.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Sharia Bird. I'm a licensed travel advisor. My business is Fly Like a Bird Travel. I am at the very, very beginning of this process, so I appreciate all of you talking about how hard it is, because every day I'm like, oh no. But I do enjoy it. I do have a few clients that I'm working with right now in arranging their travel and all of the details that take a long time for you to do on your own, but for me to have access to the resources to do it quickly and easily, and I want to make it the best experience for you. Particularly, I am focusing in on cruises because people are always asking, how do I get to go on a cruise? And I also have people that are like, I ain't going on a cruise because I'm scared of the water. And I'm like, y'all, we need to be on cruise ships because they are made for us. I'm telling you, we have a good time. You pay one time and everything else is included. I mean, once you get there, it's all free because you already paid for it. So I'm working on it. I thank you so much for this. It's been informative, and I just want to see us all win. And I appreciate you saying how hard it is in Nueces County because I've been here 4 years and it's still hard.
My name is Danielle Jackson, and I don't have a business, but I'm here for my daughter.
She does have a couple of businesses.
She started that with people helping people. Insurance is Christian based, and I told her I would help her as much as I can, and it's for our people.
What's your daughter's name?
Adrian Jackson.
She has an insurance company.
Yeah, okay, I know.
Not to wait until somebody's dead and you don't have the money. There are several prices, something that fits pocket, something that's affordable, for all people. So you pretty ready.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michelle Dell. I'm actually a new chamber member, so I came to support and also after I finished this last little late in school, I do want to open up a cupcakery. There are not a lot of them here in corporate, so that's a good thing. Especially not a black-owned one, so I'm over here taking my little notes for when I'm ready. So appreciate the information.
And sisters, good cupcakes. We work together.
Oh, right. I got a taste of it. You guys, I got to hear it.
My name is Kimber. I am a sugar artist. I own a piece of cake by Kimber. I do cupcakes.
There's a lot of
Cupcakes, candy apples, cakes, whatever you need, I got it. I'm a sugar artist. but I'm a home-based business as well. I do have a question about the DBA, because I'm a DBA. I want to say they told me that I have to do it every 10 years, so I can steal my name.
Yes.
Is that right?
It's your name, you have to.
You have to refile your DBA.
Is it 5 or 10?
It's
10.
5.
It's 10. I thought that lady told me 10. I
Yes,
want to
she
make
did.
sure, because
Yes,
she told me make
Okay.
sure, because they'll come back and steal your name. And she told me 10,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to make sure.
You know what,
It's
I don't
10
want
now.
confusion, you are right,
It's
it
10.
is 10, but with the city permit, it's 5.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, if
I
y'all
have
want,
my name.
so it's 5, yeah.
I'm a DBA, I have to go to, county and make sure I re-up
Right.
my name.
Okay, so it's 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, want to make sure.
Yep, mark it on your calendar,
Yeah,
and then that way.
my name said it's my cupcakes and it's somebody else.
Make sure you file with the state.
Yeah.
File with the state.
And still,
There's a form,
getting an
yeah.
LLC is not that expensive, especially if you deal with food. I would still get an LLC because you want to protect your personal assets from your business assets.
Yeah, so what I do is I have my LLC, and then but I do business as Catalyst for Change Global. And I mean, not Catalyst for Change Global, I'm a travel, C4C Global Travel. So because I do the travel, I'm a part of Catalyst for Change Global. I have Catalyst for Change Global is kind of the parent company, but I do business as Catalyst for Change. So I do have a DBA.
So I can have both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do both.
Yep.
The LLC and the DBA?
Have your parent company as an LLC.
LLC. See,
Yeah.
and then your
Yeah.
DBA is whatever your
Whatever
name you're
it is.
using, like your customers are used to hearing. Because like Catalyst for Change Global is actually I have my brands kind of separate. And so I have that as a DBA, Catalyst for Change Apparel, which is just the apparel, like my merch, right? That I have separate, but it's a DBA under my brand too. So yeah.
Special guest here, she works at Commissioners Court.
I'm actually chief of staff for Commissioner Robert Hernandez, but actually I'm here because I'm representing NAACP. I'm a vice president of NAACP. And President Coleman couldn't be here, but he sent me a display.
Thank you.
And two, the Black Chamber is doing great things through this community, so y'all stick with him, we know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
And then we going to.
Right there.
My name is Paula Avery, and I'm an insurance broker, and also I'm a notary, but I'm a signing agent. And I have Insurance in Motion is my insurance, and I do health insurance, I do Obamacare, Medicare, and also life insurance. And then for the notary, I do closing on houses, I do POAs, I do a lot of different things, to notarize, but I am called a signing agent because I do more than just do notary, I do closing on houses.
Nice. She looked just like the same way.
Come on, just introduce yourself.
Speak it, Diddy, and do it.
Well,
My name is Judy Herb. I don't have a business, I do catering sometimes on the side. That's how I found out about all this stuff you have to have. Even if cooking out of your house to go to someone else. The city has showed me all the things that you have to have. Even if, like my son works for Tesla in Robstown, and sometimes they want me to fix it. I have to have a permit to cook in my house and to deliver the food to Tesla in Robstown. I also find out, like you have your church. Even within the churches, within a business, the people that cook in your church have to have a health permit. Or they can come in and shut down the kitchen at your church. So a lot of things that we take for granted. We grew up with Big Mom there cooking and everybody bring it to the church. We have to be careful with that now. So I told Carrie's a wonderful baker. I don't like baking anymore, so I go to Carrie. Carrie is an amazing baker. So when I say catering, It's at will. If I feel like doing it, and I pray about it, then I'll do it. If not, I don't. So I don't really call it a business, but it's a blessing. Let me put it that way. Okay?
I have a quick question. I have a question on what she said. If, let's say we're in here as the church, I belong to this church, and we're all in here eating and we're fellowshipping one another. We're not selling anything. We're not breaking any type of law. Is that correct? It's only if we're in here selling, correct?
No.
You're preparing.
So if you're in there, you have a pastor's anniversary.
Okay.
And someone's in that kitchen, and they're cooking and serving people out here. Whoever's doing that cooking in there.
Food management, it's called food management.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're selling it or not, as long as we're getting together in here, whoever's the one that's cooking and dishing out food, gotta have.
You gotta have a food management.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say something? The reasoning for that is about safety.
Exactly.
So like, she stated earlier, when we all grew up, we were all family and all, we just go and we cook and we serve, right? But what the reasonings for the permits, anywhere that we go, maybe you are benefiting financially from it or not, it is about safety.
Yes, sir.
So that's why they want us to have go through the safety courses for your food handlers permits to make sure that there's no cross-contamination, make sure that you're not, storing food improperly for someone to turn around and get sick, and then that can fall back on the church or someone else, even if we're doing it from the church, not benefiting from it financially.
And see, we're not serving, we just have prepackaged food and people self-serve.
But even that, you have to, well, I just went through the course, so that's kind of like pressure on my head, or in my head. But you have to have go through a food management course, okay? And a day, it's just one day.
It's online too.
Yeah, and it's online. I mean, if you want to pay that, you pay it. If you don't, sit in a class. There it is for a little cheaper. That's a note out of my head, okay?
I wanted to ask Ms. Hurd a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned about you can cook food for Tesla out of your home, you have to have a permit.
Permit, yeah.
And does that mean that the health inspector will go to your home also and inspect?
Yes. Yes, he will.
Anytime, it's a double entendre, like she said, if you're selling or if you're serving, double entendre. So like, you doing it out of your house.
Yeah.
The environmental can come to your house and inspect your house. If you don't have a proper, it's your home business, but if you don't have something proper set up, they can shut you down.
They can.
But the home-based bakers, we've worked under the cottage law, so it's different than home-based bakers. We do have to have the food handlers.
But you have to have like
They're not
public,
required to inspect.
you have to have a restroom, for like if you're selling out of your home, you have to let the people come in and use your restroom. That's
Let me
something.
give you an example. There was a Spanish lady selling tacos out of her house. Somebody reported her for selling those tacos. They came in, they shut her down because somebody was, you got haters in any business.
Yes.
Our people won't support our own habits. So you've got to be careful because even though you think you're doing the right thing, you've got some people that will come in just out of hatefulness, spitefulness, that will try to get you shut down. So just make sure, like she was saying, I love what she's, just make sure all things, James said, decent and normal. Then nobody can mess with you, nobody can do anything. Just cover yourself or whatever you do. But we don't know a lot of things. I only found out after being 2 years at the health department. They just shut down a Mexican restaurant right there on Ayers. Everybody go to the lunchtime. Permit was expired. Health food cards weren't available. They didn't even have them. They weren't covering their hair. No. So they shut them down. But like you said earlier, Kim, they give you an opportunity to correct. And then once you correct it, but like she said, we don't know a lot of things.
Mhm.
We don't know. I had a map at work. I said, you have a liquor store, a Mexican restaurant on every street corner, and a church. Nobody knows that each one of those entities has to have a permit. Because we just think, okay, we go start a business and everything. No, they've got it set up, and I like what Lamont said, and correct. There are so many organizations that want to help you start a business, that have the money to sit there. I think my daughter told me she works in the, there's over $10 billion in the state of Texas for small businesses to get started. What do we know about that?
Which, can I put a plug in for us right now? No one asked me to do this, but I think it's important because if we don't support your local chapters and things, if we don't allow us to be able to come together to provide information like this, this is why we want to be able to do this. You won't know if you don't join different things. Coretta, as our president, does an amazing job, and she puts out a lot of different resources through our text messaging and all the messengers of things that are out there. If it's not here in the city, she will give information that she is privy to. She gives it to us, and without you being a member, you don't know that, right? So, but we want to be able to do things like this so we can give back to the community. That's why supporting your different chapters, we're able to do that. You know, so whatever somebody's, whatever they may think is going on, this is what we really want to do. We want to provide this so we as a community and as a culture, we can grow, we can prosper, we can leave legacy for our children, our grandchildren, and all. And we can't do that if we are not privy to the information. So by joining, it allows you to have access to all the information that we also have too.
Do you have forms with you today?
Yeah, membership form,
Is the form in there, or is it just the brochure? Do we have the actual membership form?
Don't think we have any actual forms, but you can go straight to the website and join from there, or we can get your information and we have a QR code.
I just have a few people asking, they want to join today, so I just want to.
And we need your information for you. Yes, and one more thing, let me remind you that your entire board of directors, we're all volunteers too. So we do this out of the kindness of our heart, even though we all have our own individual businesses. Your entire board of directors here at the Black Chamber of Commerce are all volunteers. So we do this out of our own free time. So you don't have to go through all the trials that we have been through. And also with that said, we have another special guest in the room. I would like to introduce Councilman Jim Klein for joining us today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so I just came to be a resource. If you have issues with the city, you think I might be able to help you with, chat me before I leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, you want any final words, Bishop?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Steve Anderson. My business, I'm a pastor, and my business is encouraging everybody else to do their business. Whether it be spiritual, physical, or financial. And the day before you leave, I want to join the Black Chamber.
And the church is a business.
Yes.
People don't think about that, but the church is a business. It's ordinarily a nonprofit.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us. And I want to tell you, thank you for supporting our business. You're not a member of the church or anything, but I'm gonna tell you, he has just called to see if we're okay.
That's what he
And,
does.
He does.
you know, that's, I just want to publicly say thank you. Because it's you know, it was something that no one asked. He just said, you know, I just want to make sure that you all are okay. That means everything to us, you know, as business owners. And like LaToya was saying, you know, a lot of times, like my restaurant was open today, but I'm here. You know, that was hard. That was hard for me to leave. You know, because my mind, I'm thinking about, oh Lord, what did I do? Not disrespect, but this is not to keep going. But we have board meetings and all, and we do whatever we have to do because we do care about our community. We truly do. You know, if we are driving, we are like driving at times, and we're on Zoom calls. You know, Dr. Tammy is traveling, but she's on her Zoom call, you know, because we care. So, I want you all to have a great impression of what your Black Chamber is doing, you know, and that we all are making sacrifices because we do care about our community.
Well, I have to second that. The Black Chamber of Commerce has been very helpful in our business that we have, and I thank you all for your support and helping me grow, get out there, and you need to join, we have to join, because they are here to help all of us. I have to just second it.
And we do our best to make sure that Black people get seen, particularly in areas where you would never be thought about. We would push you, and you end up with orders from, a lot of people end up with orders from ExxonMobil. So we want to do that for you. You know, leverage our sphere of influence to get you in front of people that you might never be known, that you might normally not do business with, so that it gives you a greater, more access to help grow your business. And so whatever we can do to help is part of our mission. And that's why we started doing this, because we know with Black-owned businesses, it's different for us. It's not necessarily the same. Some things are the same, but we know some things are different. Some things are unique to us because of our culture, right? And so as a Black-owned business, I would add that you should probably put that on your checklist as spiritual advisor. Your person of faith, which is business. It helps, you know, if you have a pastor or someone in addition to a mentor for your business, someone who also can serve as your spiritual advisor. Right?
Can I say something? I can 100% agree that my pastor, he is involved with us, his flock, and he encourages us, you know, and he is a very good spiritual advisor. So I just wanted to put that out there.
She wanted to give you more work.
Any final questions? And make sure that not only do we get your information, y'all get each other's information.
Amen.
Because part of it is us knowing who we are, where we are, right? So we can not only, the Black Chamber be a resource for you, but we can learn to be a resource for each other.
Exactly.
Because there's enough business out there where we don't have to compete, we can complement each other. Say it again one more time.
For the people in the back.
You don't have to compete.
We don't have to compete. Yes, yes.
Where 2 or 3 are gathered.
Hey, he'll be there.
Any final
He
questions?
will.
Madam President, I just want to say, with, Vice President Jenkins, that, I work with her, and I do have some, applications, anybody want to join in NAACP. Also, I can tell you about the Nueces County Black Democrats have also put that up.
You make sure you vote.
Yeah, please, make sure you vote.